So welcome to this walkthrough of Mastery Exam FA, Practice Version 2. And like the other Mastery Exam Practice Version 2s, we're just going to blow right through this and just do one problem after the other. If you want to see more details about, if any details that you want to see that have been left off of this screencast, look at the Practice Version 1 screencasts where we go into a little more depth, or just write down your questions and ask your professor. So in exam practice version 2, we're given this second degree polynomial and asked to compute f of a bunch of different things. The first three are similar, and I'll just do those right here. So f of 2, I'm going to just go through and replace the x with a 2, like so, and now I'll just compute. 2 squared is 4, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1, 4 minus 10, that's negative 6, plus 1 is negative 5, and that's my answer that I put in the blank here. And now I'm going to do f of x minus 8. Same kind of process here. I'm going to replace the x with an x minus 8 and go through the same process that the function tells me to do. Okay, here is where the x used to go, and again it's been replaced by x minus 8. I'm going to go through now and simplify. X minus 8, the quantity squared is x squared minus 16x plus 64. Here again we need to be careful with subtracting the parentheses. I'm subtracting all of 5 times x minus 8, so I need to multiply the 5 through and subtract, so it's minus 5x plus 40. Because that's the minus 5 times negative 8. And I'm adding 1, so now I'm just going to go combine like terms. This is the 1x squared term. There's a negative 16x and a negative 5x. That's minus 21x. And there's a plus 64, a plus 40, and a plus 1. And that gives me 64 and 40 is 104, plus 1 is 105. So now I'm going to do the last part, or problem part 3 of this exam, right here. It asked me to compute f of a cubed. Again, same idea. F of a cubed is what I get when I replace the x with a cubed. And so here I'm setting this up. And now just use some exponent rules. I'm going to multiply exponents here, as we've seen. A to the 6th minus 5a cubed plus 1. So that does it for the first parts. I guess I should write these up here. Again, each of these parts each of these problems obtained by simply evaluating the input in where the x is. So a to the 6th minus 5a cubed plus 1. So now moving on to problems 4 and 5 of Mastery Exam FA. These two are related because they both have f of a plus h in them. So if we do problem number 4, we can just import the result to problem number 5. So let's do that. F of a plus h. Here again, f of x is x squared minus 5x plus 1. So f of a plus h is a plus h squared minus 5a plus h plus 1. Okay, then we're going to expand this using the FOIL method. That gives us a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. I'm going to subtract a 5a and subtract a 5h plus 1. And there are no like terms in the result here, so that is it as far as the simplifying goes. I'm just going to copy this up to the blank. I'm going to need that space below to do problem number 5 because it gets a little lengthy. Okay, there we go. Let me just get rid of this, and we'll be on our way to doing the next part, which is this difference quotient. So f of a plus h minus f of a over h. I've already got f of a plus h computed, and that's going to go right there. I just need to know what f of a is, and that's just simply replacing the x over here with an a. So it would be a squared minus 5a plus 1. So now the numerator of this expression I'm trying to compute, the numerator would be I'll just write it out. It's f of a plus h. That's a squared plus 2ah plus h squared minus 5a minus 5h plus 1. And I'm going to subtract all of f of a. That's the parenthesis a squared minus 5a plus 1. Now let's simplify. I'll go ahead and write this out. A squared plus 2ah plus h squared minus 5a minus 5h plus 1. Here's where we got to be careful. I'm going to subtract everything inside. Minus a squared minus a minus 5a, that's plus 5a, and then minus a plus 1, so that's minus 1. And now we just got to go through and note that some things cancel, that this a squared and this a squared subtract off, minus 5a and a plus 5a and a plus 1 and a minus 1. And so what's left after the aftermath here is 2ah plus h squared minus 5h. That's the numerator up top. Now I'm going to delete off a lot of this work. Again, if you need to see the work, just go back and pause and rewind. I'm going to get rid of everything but that answer. Get rid of that too. So that's the numerator, and now to get the entire difference quotient, I'm going to take the numerator. So all this stuff now is equal to 2ah plus h squared minus 5h. That's the numerator. I'm going to divide by h. All right. Again, before we do anything else, we need to factor before we cancel. And so I'm going to factor off the common factor of h and get 2a plus h minus 5. And that's all divided by h. And then we see that I have a common factor of h's. And I can cancel those out. And I'm left with my answer, which I'll just put in the blank here, 2a plus h minus 5. Remember, factor, then cancel. Alright, so now we're on to problem 6 where we have another difference quotient to work with. And just again, the function we're working with here is x squared minus 5x plus 1. So we're going to just do a lot of things here in the same place. F of x is, just form this fraction. F of x is x squared minus 5x plus 1. And I'm going to subtract off all of f of a. F of a is a squared minus 5a plus 1. And I'm subtracting all of it. Therefore, I need those parentheses. The whole thing is over x minus a. Let's do the next step, which is to subtract the parentheses off, or subtract the things that are in the parentheses. Minus a squared plus 5a minus 1. This is all over x minus a. And what we see here is that I have some one cancellation I can do is to subtract off and add the 1 to get 0. Okay, so here's where I am so far. I'm at x squared minus 5x minus a squared plus 5a. And we saw in Master Exam Practice Version 1 of this Mastery Exam that I could factor off an x here and an a here, but it doesn't lead me to a place where I can cancel the x minus a's. What does work is this step, and that's just simply to move this a squared term over to here and get x squared minus a squared minus 5x plus 5a. That's over x minus a. All right, let's keep working up here. Now, one extra factoring step I'm going to do before I go on is to factor off a minus 5 from those last terms there. That would leave me with an x minus a. Okay, you multiply that back through and check that you get this. I'm also going to factor this expression, x squared minus a squared, into x plus a times x minus a. So here is where I am after doing all that factoring. And there's one more factoring step I can do because each of the terms on the top has a factor of x minus a. So let's pull that completely off the numerator, x minus a, and I'm left with x plus a from here minus 5. This is all over x minus a. And now x minus a is multiplied on top and being divided on the bottom, so that's gone. And here's my answer, x plus a minus 5. And we see all the factoring that goes into that. So that'll do it for exam FA. Practice some more of this and you'll get the hang of it. Good luck.